Oh man, today might be the day. It's beautiful, it's misty, it's warm, it's overcast, the birds are calling. Let's go see if we can find some snakes. Feels fantastic. I feel like unsafe driving conditions are kind of a necessity for good snake hunting days. I definitely don't want to speak too soon, but I think today has a lot of potential. This is the area that the tornado came through, probably the worst earlier this week. It's pretty bad. It seems like a lot of the houses are okay, but there's a lot of tree damage. And the place just kind of looks like a bit of a wasteland. Look at this. Spooky, spooky stuff. Really, 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 really spooky. I mean, this is just a wall of down trees. Look at this. I will admit, it is definitely a little bit wetter out here than I would like, but I'm hoping that'll change as we go a little bit later in the day. But we will see. It's decently warm at least. It feels like it's probably in the low 60s right now, which is a good starting temperature, so we'll see what we can get into. Oh, that is a lovely sight. I think that is our first venomous snake of 2023, a cottonmouth. I expect that today is definitely going to be a vipers off the ground type of day, and that seems to be the case so far, because this guy is probably 3 feet off the ground, maybe a little higher. I don't know that we're going to get a much better look at that guy, at least yet, maybe a little bit later in the day, because he's kind of back in the thick of it, but I'm just happy to see a snake. I'll take it. Here's a familiar face. We saw this guy at the end of last year. Another nice cottonmouth. You can see this guy is just now starting to come out of his hole, and he is already showing a little bit of attitude like last time. So it's a good looking cottonmouth. A little on the thin side, but doesn't appear to have anything horribly wrong with him. Very nice. Since I know there's a couple people wondering how dangerous these things really are right now, the answer is not very unless you directly touch them. You can see I am standing right next to this thing. And other than opening his mouth, he has made no efforts to pursue me. And doesn't even really seem interested in biting me at all. Just wants me to go away. So we're gonna show some respect and do exactly that. The birds are so active this morning. Look at this little kinglet. One of the smallest birds we have. I'm not sure if that's a ruby or golden crown, but very cool little bird. All right, we are approaching the little area where we saw one of our very cool tree timber observations in December. And I'm hoping that the snake is gonna be out again today. I know Richard saw him right after the beginning of the new year. I see him right now. Look right there. I cannot believe this guy is just chilling in the rain. Look at that. That is so ridiculously cool. He is just absolutely covered in mist. I don't know how well you can see. Man, that's not stable at 3x. But that is so awesome. Hopefully that's a good omen. There will be some more snakes out today. And we're up to 3 vipers so far, and it still hasn't really even stopped raining. I like to think we have a pretty mutual understanding. As you could see from that last video, he did not budge as I took photos of him. So we're just gonna leave this beautiful snake right here yet again. Our first timber rattlesnake of 2023. This is absolutely one of my favorite parts about this time of year. Just getting to watch snakes over the course of their season, their winter season, and learn about their behaviors and behavioral patterns. It's fascinating to me. The snake has probably been sitting on this same spot of this same log every day that it's been nice throughout the winter. And who knows why? He's not unhealthy. He appears to be in ambush, like he's looking for food. And you can see he's just completely covered in water right now, or mist. Doesn't seem too bothered by it, so we're just gonna leave him right there. Hopefully that will not be the only timber we see today. Look right there. There's our second rattlesnake of the day. This guy's just starting to come out, so I think we're gonna leave him completely alone for now, and we'll come back by later and see if he's out a little bit further. So as weird as it is, at this point we are at 4 snakes, 2 timbers, and 2 cottonmouths. Nothing else. But I feel like it's just now starting to finally get to where it's not actively raining and it feels actually kind of good out here. It feels very good out here actually all of a sudden. So I expect that that will change soon and our luck will turn around hopefully. Not that we've had a bad day so far, but it doesn't seem like stuff has completely come out yet. So hopefully that will happen over the next couple hours. Well, would you look at that? There's our first pure southern red salamander of the year. In the Georgia coastal plain, the northern red salamander is replaced with the southern. And we've talked about this a little bit before, but the southerns have a much darker overall appearance and are characterized by lots of black flecking on the face. You can see this guy pretty much has that going on. Not the most vibrant ruber, but still a cool find. And like I said, I do believe this is our first pure Viosci or southern red salamander of the year. All right, next rock I flipped actually had another one under it. It's the slightly more vibrant one in front, but I figured I would show them side by side real quick before releasing them. Here's a crack rat. First rat snake of the year. That's probably the best look we're gonna get at him, unfortunately, but nice to see. Hopefully there will be more rat snakes today out in the open. Hey, here we go. Look at this little guy. This is a juvenile rat snake that I just found under a little piece of tree bark. Very, very cute. These little juvenile rats are always fun. All right, we're gonna let this little dude go. All right, we're approaching where that last timber was from a different angle this time. And I'm hoping he's gonna be a little further out, so we'll see. Right in here. Don't see him. Oh, I do see him. He's right there. Crazy how well camouflaged they can be. I took a couple quick photos that I'll put in here so that you guys can get a little bit of a better look at him, but I think that's as good as we're going to get today. It's pretty late in the afternoon and he has not come out much further, if any further, than the first time we saw him. He is kind of coiled up. You can see his back half is down in the hole, but very, very nice. Second timber rattlesnake of the day. Not entirely sure, but I think this guy might be asleep. He has not so much as tongue flicked. And snakes don't have eyelids, so his eyes would be open even if he was asleep. He seems to be completely either unaware or unbothered by my presence, which is really cool. That's the goal. We'll just leave him right there. Look at this rat snake. That's probably the best we're gonna get with that guy. It's just the tip of his head sticking out. I don't think the snake has budged all day. You can see his face a little bit better now. And I think that's just because a leaf moved, but he's in the same exact position. It's kind of ridiculous. He's dried out though. When we saw him first thing this morning, he was noticeably wet. Like I've said before, I think that's why a lot of these vipers come out on winter days and climb up in the bushes, because it allows them to dry out and stay healthy. There's our second cottonmouth of the day, still chilling. It seems like he does not really mind us looking at him up close. Last time we went down there and he got real grumpy and he was still out later in the day. And the same thing happened today. When we went down there, he got real grumpy and then just, I guess, stayed out. It's pretty cool. Just quite a bit different from the timber rattlesnakes who, I mean, as far as I could tell, didn't even acknowledge or know that I was there. All right, well, back to this guy. Just check on him real quick. It appears he has not moved at all. He has dried out a bit though. I'm passing through this little seepy area and I decided to flip a couple more logs. And right here is yet another little southern red. Not quite as vibrant as our northerns, once again, but still very cool looking salamanders. And their faces are just so cool. Yo, there's some feral hogs over there. That's not what you want to see. I don't see a big one either. Look at this guy. So I might be completely mistaken about this, but I'm pretty sure southern red salamanders are actually smaller than northerns. And that has definitely been the case with my experience with them, but this guy is probably the single biggest southern red I have ever seen, and he has the battle scars to prove it. You can see lining his body are bite marks from other salamanders. Pseudotriton and some of our other salamanders are fiercely competitive over territory. This is likely a big male, and he has probably been fighting off other red salamanders to defend his territory. But look at all those bite marks. I'm just gonna let him go back under his hard-earned log. Very, very nice. That's the first evidence of any lizard life we've seen today. Nice green anole. Well, I saw a banded water snake suck his head back in a hole, kind of like that rat snake, was just barely poking out. But here is our thick boy Cottonmouth. We've seen this guy a couple of times over the last couple of years. He always hangs out at this stump over the winter. And I was kind of surprised he wasn't out this morning, but he is out this afternoon. Might end up being the last snake of the day. All right, I think I'm gonna start making my way back to the car at this point. It was a very solid day for how the weather was. I mean, it started out basically raining on us, which didn't seem to faze the snakes too much. So I was optimistic that when the rain stopped, we would see more stuff, and we did. It just wasn't as good as I was hoping. Definitely not a bad day. Any day with snakes in January is good, as you all know. But if I don't see anything between here and the car, I'm probably gonna wrap this episode up here, because if I don't, I won't be able to get a video up this weekend because I'm gonna be out of town for the next 5 or 6 days on an out-of-state trip. So if you enjoyed and want to make sure you can keep up to date with my uploads, make sure you're subscribed, because I'm pretty optimistic that we'll have some cool videos coming from this trip, and those will probably be up next week at some point. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.